In the previous episode, it was stated that the beloved children's story of Puss in Boots has been retold countless times over the years, but what I neglected to mention is that this story has, in fact, transcended literature and film. That's right, there's even an old-school Puss in Boots platformer on the NES. It was developed by Toei System, a team known primarily for a string of Fist of the North Star games during the 8 to 16-bit generations, and published by Electro Brain. Yes, that Electro Brain. To the younger and/or uninitiated viewers out there, if you see the Electro Brain logo on the cover of the game you're playing, take that as a surefire symbol of quality. And when I say quality, please understand that I'm making air quotation marks for a reason. They were known mostly for bringing games of dubious quality stateside, the most notorious of which being Dual Heroes on the N64, which we may take a deep dive on someday. But back to the matter at hand. A loose adaptation of Toei Animation's equally loose adaptations. Here's a little background. Count Gruman, a notorious swine, hated mice with a passion. One day, he discovered a mouse in his castle. Frustrated and irate, Count Gruman ordered Pero, the Puss in Boots, to find and destroy the mouse. However, Pero was a kind-hearted cat and had become friends with the mouse, and so helped the little creature to escape. In a fit of anger, Count Gruman, aided by Dr. Garigari, a fiendish scientist wolf, sent Pero on a perilous time-travel journey around the world and into the past. Pero must locate and defeat Count Gruman and the mad Dr. Garigari, and use their time machine to get home or be stuck in the past forever. To make matters worse, the Cat Kingdom has sent killers after Pero because he helped a mouse and thereby violated Cat Kingdom law. Pero must travel to exotic lands and overcome many hazards, but can he defeat the combined might of the diabolical Count Gruman, Dr. Garigari, and the killers? Kicking things off, you're shown a map of the game world, taking you from the west to Ocean, Arabia, Space Wars, London, and reaching a climax at Liberty. For some reason, you never end up exploring Australia. Maybe they were saving that for a sequel. As you begin, stranded in America during the 1800s, it makes sense to do the most American thing possible. Shoot everything that moves, be it horseshoes, evil bouncy balls, or rival cats both big and small. Just because Pero is best known for his skills with a sword doesn't mean you can't fill everyone with comically large bullets. Next, you're sailing the open seas in a cute little boat, bombing the crap out of enemy pirate ships and killer sharks. Soon, you'll hop into an even cuter submarine, exploring the ocean depths and the Lovecraftian creatures therein. Don't worry, if you start to take too much damage, there's a hidden green hamburger that will refill your health. I'd suggest not making a habit of chowing down on ancient nautical fast food. I can't imagine it being good for you in the long term. Before you're able to emerge from the murky depths, a giant mechanical frog that pukes up smaller mechanical frogs blocks your path. Feed it enough bombs and its stomach will rupture, clearing the way. Trading the seas for the sands, Arabia awaits. Featuring a colorful landscape, you get to hop into a badass convertible and ride in style, pulling a drive-by on everything from bats to other drivers who dare to give you the side eye. Also worthy of note are birds who are so gigantic that they drop fully coiled poop on you. Not sure what they're feeding those things in the Middle East, but at least they're not going hungry. Next, Pero enters Space Wars, which is an ill-fitting name because there is neither space nor war involved with this stage. I guess even though it was 1990, the makers of this game were still wanting to capitalize on that other semi-famous franchise that you may be familiar with. Flying a little puddle jumper, the game temporarily becomes a kid-friendly shmup, traversing mountains and shooting down various targets while evading enemy fire and sentient lightning bolts raining down from Zeus himself. Blow a teleporting UFO out of the sky, and you'll find yourself in jolly old England. London is exactly how you pictured it. Union Jacks, Queen's Guard, and pointy architecture everywhere. As you're smack dab in the middle of the Industrial Revolution, heavy machinery, conveyor belts, and tricky jumps rule the day. This is easily the toughest level in the game, as instant deaths are plentiful. But if you're as agile as a cat, you should be able to make it through in order to face off against the goddamn devil. England, no wonder you gave birth to so many legendary metal bands. Taking to the skies one last time, Pero soars in a hot air balloon that surprisingly matches his color scheme. This isn't an easy trek, as not only are you trying to avoid even more lightning bolts and flying enemies, but now the wind itself is impeding your progress. If you so much as touch the bottom of the screen, you lose a life. So my advice is to keep moving forward, only stopping to avoid obstacles. Finally, completing his trip around the world and through time in considerably less than 80 days, Pero arrives in New York. Here, you'll find a maze of traps, platforms, and misleading passages that can either get you stuck or send you all the way back to the beginning of the stage, so choose your doors carefully. A giant mechanical snake found out what you did to his buddy the giant mechanical frog, and he's out for revenge. So feel free to feed him plenty of bombs too. It's almost like poetry. The finish line is in sight, but you're not safe yet. You get not one, but two final bosses thrown at you simultaneously. Dr. Garigari and two shadow clones of Count Gruman. Don't get too trigger happy though, as the key to beating Gruman is carefully timed jumps. Stand still and you'll be dead in seconds. Take out Garigari first, and the Count becomes a breeze afterwards. With his enemies gone, Pero celebrates atop the Statue of Liberty in what, I must confess, does not look like a very comfortable fashion. But sometimes you shouldn't question cats. Typically, they know what they're doing. Puss in Boots, Pero's great adventure was definitely made with a younger audience in mind. The cartoony character designs, the basic controls, and short stages all make it an entry-level game. This doesn't necessarily make it bad, however. Even though I was able to play this thing from start to finish in under 15 minutes, the experience is loaded with variety, alternating between platforming and vehicle sections every couple of minutes. There are games that take hours to beat that have less going on than this one. If you fancy yourself to be a hardcore gamer, Puss in Boots probably won't do a whole lot for you. But if you're just looking to have a light, breezy way to kill some time and maybe even laugh a bit, check this out. The episode of Captain N, the Game Master, Once Upon a Time Machine, features Kevin and company entering the world of Puss in Boots to team up with Pero after Gruman and Garigari steal Kevin's weapons. In what ends up becoming a chase through time portals, this is one of the more bonkers episodes of a series that was already pretty weird to begin with. A cartoon based on a video game, based on a cartoon, based on a book. A product that could only have been produced between the late 1980s and early 1990s, this show was truly something else. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back soon.